ask me to start your business, I'm going to be able to loan you that 25. Watch this. In my account and ain't going to miss it. I hear the positioning. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. She says, he wants to offer you living water. The woman said unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Watch this. From whence then hast thou that living water? Watch this. I want you to understand that she thinks that Jesus is getting ready to pull water from the well she's already digging out of. If the water that she did get herself was living water, Jesus would not have offered her living water. Here is the next thing why you don't get healthy in the spirit, is because you keep thinking that whatever you think is what God is thinking. You keep saying that whatever on my mind is what's on the Lord's mind. Watch this. When you ain't put on the mind of Christ in years. And so when you don't have the mind of Christ, how you going to tell God what he thinking? He said, my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither my ways your ways. So the way you would do it may not be the way God would. 9 times out of 10, it ain't. You better be listening to God so you know which way to go. Which way did he go? You want to know how to go. She's in her own mind telling Jesus that the water you're offering me is in the well that I've been getting water out of all the time. And you don't have nothing to draw out this water with. So you can't give me no water, let alone living water. Because this water here represents what? When we see water, it represents life. So we think, life water. We think that this water in the well is the water that we're supposed to be drinking. But God is saying, yes, that's good for your body, but it's not good for your spirit. What I'm trying to offer you is something that's not in the well. That's not in the physical well. Here it is. The problem with church folk is that we keep bringing our buckets to come get water that we can live off of for a day. Come on, y'all know the saying. Here it is. You come to church on Sunday so you can get what you need for the week. And then you run out and you come on Wednesday so you can get a refilling for Bible study to carry you through the week. But the last I heard, the word of God is living. So if he's going to give you living water, then that means you ought to have a word that I pray about. To give us, Lord, plant this seed and let it grow into a strong tree that bears fruit, watch this, that we may eat off of for how long? The rest of our life. Why? We don't get a word for the day. We don't get a word for tomorrow. We don't get a word for the week. We get a word for the rest of our life. This thing is living. It never dies. Why are we limiting God to this week? If you want God, then you have to consistently eat the word. Watch what he's saying. Watch what he's saying. He said, the woman said unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. She thinking her well deep. The physical well is deep. Like you don't even know the depth. You don't even know who you talking to. Jesus got to look like do you who you talk? You don't even know who you talking to. You got a lot of mouth for somebody you don't even know who you talking to. You talking to Bill Gates and you talking about the $10, the $20 in your pocket. And Bill Gates sitting across the room from you, and you talking to Bill Gates like he ain't got no money because you don't know what Bill Gates look like. Woo! You and Bill Gates ain't friends. You ain't even associated because you don't even know what he looked like in a room if he walked in the room. Bill Gates walked in right now, half y'all wouldn't know who he was. Like, is that? Walk right past him. Because he, watch this, because he ain't finna walk up in here. Come on, watch this. In no Armani suit. He ain't finna come in with 600. He gonna come in looking just like me with these blue jeans on, some Kmart shoes. Come on. And a t-shirt. Maybe a button down. Wow, look at him. When y'all see, look at y'all seen this man on TV. Look at him. He ain't dressed up. He ain't dressed to impress at no meeting. Y'all want to be rich, and y'all talking about we gonna be rich, and then y'all got all the bling bling on, young people. Y'all got a Lambo on your wrist. I'm gonna put a Lambo on my for what? I drive one, but I ain't gonna put on my wrist. Come on. So we got all this stuff. Watch this, and God is saying, you don't even know who I am. All the stuff that you want and desire, I am. My Father's rich in houses and land. My Father, the house, the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world, and they that dwell therein. You want me to? You want some favor? Then you want me, because I turn the heads of kings. You want to be rich? Don't worry about it. I got the money, champ. I'm rich. I got it. Watch this. You want to be married? Yeah, I'm messing with you. You want to be married? God said, I got it. I created her for you. I created him for you. So why are we talking to anybody else but me? He said, watch this. When your relationship with me get tight, I'll tighten up your relationship on the outside. That's prophetic. Watch it. Here we go. Art thou great? She's asking a question. Watch this. This is how much you don't know him. Y'all see him? Y'all read with me? Are we in 12? It says, art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle? His cattle drink from the same well. Y'all know y'all flip out if y'all was drinking from the same well as the animals. And she's asking him, are you greater? She don't even know who she's talking to. You keep going to your earthly father. You keep going to your earthly mother. You keep going to your earthly grandparents. Let me say this to you, and I hope you don't be offended. But sometimes God removes people so that you can be more dependent upon him, because you were so dependent upon them that they were in the way of your relationship. Some people are removed so that you can learn to lean and depend on God. Because in the time, watch this, a time of crisis or the time of a sudden death, we have to learn to steal. It's a check on our relationship. It really is. Watch how many people fall away when somebody passes that they love. And then watch how many people gravitate to God. When people died in 9/11, look how many people went to church. Churches were packed because everybody got a relationship now. But as soon as things start going well again, now the church. Sometimes it takes tragedy for us to go, okay, God, hold me, comfort me, keep me, bless me. God is a keeper. See, if you keep your mind on him. Song said, he'll keep you in perfect peace if you keep your mind on him, stayed on him. So when you get to the place where you feel inadequate, lean on him. Matter of fact, even when you feel adequate, lean on him. Hold to God's, watch this, unchanging hand. He's never going to change on you. We change on God. Huh? Watch this. Woman said unto him, I don't know, keep on. Children of the cattle, watch this, verse 13. Jesus answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. Now he's telling you what's in the well. He who drinks of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. Come on, man. Somebody say, I want that water. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. I want you to catch this last part. She's concerned about the water that's inconsistent. That every time she gets it, she has to turn around and go back and get it. She has to turn around and go back and get it. She runs out, she turns around, go back and get it. This water, he says, I'm getting ready to give you is living water, and you'll never thirst again. In other words, it's consistent. It always flows. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. He says, the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water. So watch this. In you, this living water, there is a well in you. Y'all hear me? He's telling the woman that the well that what he's about to give her is a well that is everlasting. Because she'll what? Never thirst again. If you'll never thirst again, that means the water can't run out. Woo! Watch this. He said, what I'm getting ready to give you is you're going to have in you a well. Watch this. A well of water springing up into everlasting life. Watch this. The well springs up. Y'all ever seen water spring out? In other words, what he's saying is that you won't be able to hold this water. The well is in you, but there is going to be consistent water. Y'all ever see a sprinkler? Just every time you open your mouth, something. A well. Watch this. He said there's a well in you, watch this, of living water. Here's the issue I want you to understand. A lot of us have got the living water. Huh? Y'all hear me? You got it. God has put in you the word of God. He's put in you this word. And so every time something goes wrong in your life or something goes shocking in your life, somehow this word keeps popping up to keep you sane, to keep your mind stayed on, to keep your heart and mind together, to keep it good, right? Don't be distracted, to keep it good, right? And so this word keeps popping up in you. What God is saying is, but a lot of us, watch this, we got our mouth closed and we only use. Here it is. When Pastor Moore said, change your water, and it began to work for me, everybody else began to ask me, what is it that you're doing that's causing you to lose weight like that? And I looked at him, I said, all I did was change my water. Why did I tell them that? They said, all you did was change your water. They said, what you changed your water to? I changed my water from that cheap water that I was always getting for $1, and I started spending $5 on a bottle called Fiji. And they said, what? Fiji? I said, yeah, I drink my water cold. They said, and then the prophet said, well, it don't work good for women. You have warm water. I said, well, y'all need to get some Fiji and drink some warm water. So I walked into work on Monday. I watched this with my Fiji that y'all got me. I walked in with my bottle. I had two. I had one I had drunk, and I had a full bottle. And the lady said, oh, I got to go get me some Fiji. And she said, because I want to lose some weight just like you losing weight. And she talking to me, and the Lord said, give her the bottle you got. See, I didn't get blessed. Come on here, Talisha. Y'all didn't call up and buy me water for me to hog the water. Y'all bought me water. Watch this. Y'all blessed me so I can do what? Be a blessing to somebody else. Now I got people walking around Westside talking about, who that water? I'm losing weight. In other words, we got living water on the inside of us that we don't share. We just got our living water, and we got ours. We losing weight. You still fat. And some of us, watch this, that's abuse. I want you to understand that hogging something to yourself and never sharing it will cause you to be gluttonous. I got food, and y'all got people, we must have had people like just steal a word from us. Like every time we got a word, they stole it and ran off with it. Y'all know like people, y'all get in the house and we got a bunch of kids, and then like you start protecting your plate when you eat, cause people keep coming over and pulling stuff out your plate. That's how we got with the word. So now we got a word, and we like, oh, she said change the water, change the water. No. When you get this word, this woman, when she gets this word, she doesn't just say, Jesus, thank you. Watch this. The woman said unto him, she started asking more questions. She said, sir, give me this water. Now she want it. Uh-oh. Come on, tell somebody. Now she want it. She said, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. She said, I don't even want to come up here to get it no more. I don't even want this water in the well. I don't want that water no more. If I never thirst again, give me that water. Somebody say, make a choice. Do you want the water that's going to keep you thirsty? Or do you want the water that you never thirst again? Huh? He said, I want that never thirst again water. Watch this. So he says, watch this. I'm going to build this well on the inside of you that you'll burst out with water that's burst up into everlasting life. And she says, give me this water. And then Jesus says unto her, go call thy husband. Y'all like, what? What? Yeah, go get your husband. He said, then come back. Here's very important. I want you to read this next line. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, watch this. You can immediately feel in the scripture that she's looked at this like the prerequisite for me to get this living water is that I'm married and I got a husband. Because Jesus did say in him where he put the well in. Do y'all see that? He said, I shall give him, shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. So now she's like, I ain't got no husband. I ain't got no connection. So I can get to the water. Do y'all know that there are some who connect everything you have, everything that God promised you, to something else? Watch this. The big one in church is the $100 seed. They done preached, prophesied, prayed, got you slobbering, snotting, crying all over the place because they telling you, and then they tell you at the end of it, you got to sow a seed of $100 if you want your blessing. Sow it in faith to pull your blessing. That is a trick of the enemy. Watch what Jesus says. Watch what Jesus says. Go get your husband. He said, come hither. Woman said, I have no husband. Y'all reading? Jesus said unto her, thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands. And he whom thou now hast, that's number 6, is not thy husband. In that saidst thou truly. Keep reading. He said, then the woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Jesus, because of what he says, watch this, because of what he tells her to do, causes her to tell the truth in his presence. And then he commends her for telling him the truth. Watch this. They that worship him, that's further down in the scripture, it says must worship him how? In spirit and in truth. You cannot go to God with your hand behind your back telling him ain't nothing in your hands and then expect him to give you living water. What he's telling you is that in order to get this weight loss, watch this, because I said we were talking about living water and weight loss, right? In order to get this weight loss, the first thing you must do is be honest with yourself. You must be honest with yourself and say, Lord, I'm overweight. You must be honest with yourself and say, Lord, I'm not doing it right. Lord, I don't live 100%. There are some areas in my life that are not correct. When he said, go get your husband, she immediately says, I don't have one. And then he answers her and says, you're telling the truth. Watch this. Keep going. The woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. He has proven himself to be the prophet of God because of what he said. She believes him. So our and then she gets to ask him about what? Y'all see this next line? Our fathers did what? She's now started to ask him about worship because she's in the presence of God. Watch this. He said, our fathers worshiped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Jesus says unto her, who, woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship, ye know not what. She didn't even know what she was worshiping. Watch, he says, we know what we worship, for the salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, watch this, here, he said it's for the Jews, right? But watch this, here it comes. He says, but the hour cometh, and what? Now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in what? Truth. For the Father, watch this, seeketh such to worship him. God is saying, I want to give living water, watch this, to the people that will worship me, because that's my gift. I want you to hear me. The gift of God, he asked her for it. He said, if you knew the gift of God, you would ask me for living water. So what he's telling her is, you don't have to worry about where you worship. Uh-oh. You're going to have to worry about who you worship and being truthful in your worship. In other words, the lady called and she said, I was naked before God. In other words, I exposed myself. We are Adam and Eving it. Uh-oh. We went and started putting on leaves. I'm naked, God. God, like, I know you're naked. Take it. Expose yourself. When I created you, I didn't create you with the covering. Uh-oh. I created you exposed. Why is it that we don't like exposure? Because we got the Adam and Eve mentality. We want to stay covered. Y'all ever see out of shape people with their shirt off? Watch this. And you get some and they don't care. Like, I was heavy, I didn't want to take my shirt and get in the pool with no shirt. I'm going to keep my shirt on. Man. That's just me. In mentality, I don't want you to see my fat. But when the six-pack comes, my sister, tell my wife she's going to be beating them off with a stick. You know, we're going to have to fight. We're going to have to bring, Cola going to have to come back. We're going watch this. So he says, hour cometh and not is. Here it is what you want. For God is spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. I'm going to keep reading. The woman said unto him, I know that the Messiah cometh, which is called Christ. When he is come, he will tell us all things. In other words, she know the word, but she don't know who she talking to still. Jesus saith unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. God not only is telling her this, you're going to be able to worship wherever you are. He said, but watch this, you're in my presence, and in the presence of God, he says, I want to not only talk to you, but I want to reveal myself to you. I want to reveal myself to you as the way maker. I want to reveal myself to you as the miracle worker, the promise keeper. Y'all know that song, The Light in the Darkness. I want to reveal myself to you as the lover of your soul. I want to reveal myself to you. I want to reveal myself to you. Come on. I want to reveal myself to you as your only help. See, so when you look to the hills, from whence cometh your help, he said, knowing all my help cometh from the Lord. He said, I want you to know me. I want you to feel me. Y'all like, you feel me? This guy said, do you feel me? I want you to feel me. Experience me. Before you leave this month of October, he said, I need you to feel my presence like you have not felt it before. I want you to understand that your spiritual heaviness leaves when I'm in the room. If you want to lose the spiritual weight that's on your shoulders, or you want to be able to carry it properly, he said, you need me. I'm revealing myself to you as the one you need. The Bible says, for my God shall supply